Hello and welcome to another episode of the Patriot Brothers. I'm your producer, host, and Patriot brother Zachary Scott. With me are your Patriot brothers Duke Boynton and Terry Rattle. I just want to start off by saying that people can say, think, and do what's on their mind. I'm just tired of people saying that we don't matter because we don't align with the left. That doesn't matter because we all are human beings. We have to control ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yep, spot on.
Well said,
Once
brother.
again, Zach is spot on.
Yeah,
Glad to be here again live with you guys. Zach, Terry,
absolutely.
Platitudes. How's everything going with you?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, bright, sunshiny day.
What did you do, Terry? Get up to -5 today up there?
I think it was probably closer to 15 Fahrenheit anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, there's your heat wave. Summertime in Canada.
Yeah. It's -11 Fahrenheit right now. What's up, Zach?
It's snowing here.
Wow, really? Nice.
He's happy because he can go do donuts in his wheelchair now.
Hey, I'm jealous. I want Zach's new wheelchair that he posted the other day. This thing was hooked up with missiles, 50 caliber machine guns, all on a freaking wheelchair. A Gatling gun. Yep, I'm going to get that for you, Zach. You just wait and see. Yes, please
Yes,
like, share,
absolutely.
and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Well, folks, I hope you guys enjoy our show. We are out here today. We're talking about the dreaded conspiracy theories. And Scott's coming in with -5 there in Minnesota. Actually, Scott, here in Falcon, Colorado, it was -5 when I got up, but we warmed up to 1 degree. So, man, colder than a witch's you know what. But yeah, we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories today. And Terry, you're pretty good at this stuff, so I'm just going to let you kind of roll with it, and we'll jump in here and there with you.
Well, like we were just talking about, like kind of like a funny and light one is, Peter Pan, Disney movie. Peter Pan is actually the devil, and that Never Neverland is the afterlife. That's
right.
That's why the boys don't die.
Eerie. It's eerie. But conspiracy theory?
I don't know. It's kind of like a quick one to get started, right?
Well, I kind of like the idea of it being a conspiracy theory, though. I've been preaching for a long time that Hollywood in their movies have these soft reveals. And how long have they been doing soft reveals? Well, Peter Pan was a book back, in the 1800s or something like that. Talk about priming people to get ready for hell.
Yeah. You got this guy that flies in every once in a while and then takes off again.
Right. Bringing souls with him. Because they never grow up.
Yeah. I think I read that the author of the book, his brother died when he was 13. So it kind of goes into, right? I think
sure.
Kind of goes into that theory, but I don't know. It says it's kind of like a fun, quick one.
That's freaking awesome, because I've never heard that one before. I just love it. Opal's coming in. Life is just a simulation. Opal, it's called the Matrix.
Yeah.
I would. There's so many things out there that's unknown, but conspiracy theories in and of itself, especially for Republicans nowadays, if you say it and you're a Republican, it's automatically a conspiracy theory. I could go outside right now and say, hey, look, it's flurries. It's a little bit gray outside. It's 1 degree, which is all factual right now where I'm sitting. And the left will come out and say, that's a conspiracy theory. Can't win for losing, you know? So with that said, though, I'm going to roll with it. I like the idea of conspiracy theories. And why? Because it kind of opens up your mind to what may have actually happened as opposed to what was reported as happening. And the old adage is the victors of war write history. And so unless you were there, we just don't know. Terry, I think before the pod, you brought up the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the documentation that's come out now from the CIA for declassifying the JFK assassination, a lot more information has come out that says there was a lot more to this than what was told at the time by the media. You know, I've even heard people say JFK was getting ready to release UFO documentation and got popped. But that, again,
he was planning to do something.
He was planning to do something, and Lee Harvey Oswald, did he do it? And video game coming out called Rainbow Six Quarantine. And Scott, you'll have to tell me about that. I'm not big into video games. Matter of fact, I haven't played since the old television, and you know the original Nintendo was Zelda. So you'll have to get it. And by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, you know, since we're talking about conspiracy theories, is Terry's name really Terry?
It's what my driver's license says, but
who knows? Might be a reptilian as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot to go beyond, you know, conspiracy theories, but the one thing that I like to touch on with conspiracy theories is the ability to talk about conspiracy theories. And there's quite a few out there, and I like Terry's insight on them. He's kind of a guru when it comes to it.
Yeah. I just like the fact that, you know, like even the other one I was telling you guys about before I came on, there's a theory that Paul McCartney died in 1966.
Right.
And that the band covered it up. The whole Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band album is filled with Paul is Dead overtures. Apparently, I haven't listened to it closely in a long time,
right?
Or any of the songs, but
right.
I mean, you know, like Charles Manson's favorite was the Black Album or the White Album, right?
Right.
he found inspiration in there to, you know,
that's right,
get the family to do what they did.
Right.
So who knows? There might be something in,
right.
You know, everybody give it a listen, see if there's any truth to it.
Right. I mean, it reminds me of the old adage of back in the day. You know, my folks were very hardcore Christians. So if you had any type of hard rock at the time, vinyl, if you don't know what a vinyl is, look it up. Yes, I'm that old. But I had an old Iron Maiden vinyl record, and I would go outside on my little mini record player. Well, not mini, but it was a portable one, and I'd listen to it. And my mom got so infuriated that I was listening to it. She said, "This is the devil's music. If you play it backwards, it has you're praying to Satan." Okay.
Yeah.
And she actually took that vinyl record out, threw it in my dad's grill, put some lighter fluid in it, and caught it on fire. That's how hardcore she was. And it kind of reminds me of back in the day when I watched Little Nicky. They said no. Little Nicky said no. Iron Maiden's cool. Kiss is cool. You got to be careful of Chicago. They're the ones that play their vinyl backwards is the one with the devil lingo in it.
I think nowadays it'd be like Michael Bublé or something like that.
Right, Justin Bieber.
I'm still a believer.
You're still a believer. And Scott's jumping in. There was a documentary on that theory. And Scott, depending on what theory you're talking about, if you're talking about the JFK one or the Paul McCartney, there's been quite a few documentaries on those ones. And could really touch on a lot of them. But it's a crying shame that we as conservatives and Republicans and folks from different nations and stuff, that the second that we start talking, everything we say is conspiracy theorist related. And okay, so that's what we're going to do. Paul, okay.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. And there's actually some really good documentaries out there on the JFK assassination too, now that the documents have been released by the CIA. It's kind of mind-blowing, actually.
Yeah, just even stuff on the History Channel. You know,
Right.
Like you know, everybody knows who Jack Ruby is, but like, who the fuck was he really?
Right. He was a reptilian.
Yeah. He was.
Hey, let me tell you something, Terry and Zach. I'm going to tell you.
Henry Kissinger's reptilian brother.
Right. The second I put on these sunglasses, I now see obey, spend money, and I see reptilians. Okay, that's just a joke. That came from the movie They Live. Okay, which, quite frankly, if nobody has seen They Live, you need to watch it. And then, yeah, Scott's coming in. Jack Ruby worked for Nixon at one point. I mean, again, though, it's the truth is out there. Some of it may be true, some of it may not, but it's good to speculate. I like to speculate about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that just his role in that whole thing to me is still the one. You know, everybody's got their theories on the grassy knoll, right? There's ballistics evidence, you know, that slow-mo the film, because there's a lot of cameras rolling on them,
right?
And it doesn't matter that it was kind of old sketchy footage, some of it,
right?
They know the exact dimensions of that street, that building, where exactly he was, and yeah, so it to me, that's pretty convincing, because they did. But yeah, as far as like his role,
you got to go to the X-Files for that one.
Yeah.
The other one that I was thinking about, kind of off that topic there, is, did we really land on the moon, or was that in a Universal Studios set?
That has been. There's one guy, man, I can't remember his name now, but he went to all the he was going around to like the astronauts. I can't remember which one. Just like, he asked him if the moon landing was fake, and he punched him right in the face. Didn't say a word to him.
I believe that was Buzz. That was Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, like 70 years old. Didn't say a word. Just freaking nailed the guy in the face. Like,
yep.
That was the one piece of evidence that I saw. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That touched a nerve.
That's right. That's right. It touched a nerve. You know, ironically, I got to meet Buzz Aldrin at one of our old churches that we went to here in Colorado Springs. He was a native here. Nice. And talk about a cool dude. And, you know, you have some church members that are always, they're very brazen and kind of ballsy. And they were asking him some questions about the moon landing. And he's like, man, I just came here to read the Bible and sing a hymn. I don't want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You're here. I guess it's kind of like when you're a celebrity, though. You don't want to talk about the movie you just made. I get it.
Well, you get paid to talk about the movie you just made, but.
Right. But, you know, it's another one of those. I've seen people say everything was done in a Hollywood movie studio over that moon landing.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I saw the movie. It was freaking Apollo 13.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Come on.
And Scott jumped in. We landed, but never went back because of the aliens. So one of Buzz Aldrin's things that he talked about the moon landing was he saw some stuff up there that he couldn't explain, and he didn't go into detail. I'm sure he went into detail with NASA and the government, but he's on record of saying this, that he saw stuff up there that he can't explain what or who or not even a why. He's just like, man, that's bizarre. And could that be? You know, it could be. Again, it falls in that conspiracy theory. I personally think we landed on the moon. We stuck our flag up there, did our good thing, got some moon dust, and brought it home.
But maybe.
Maybe, or is it?
Like, you could even, like, yeah, there's not really a lot you can go on, because, like, a bunch of people saw the rocket take off.
Right.
You know, something came out of the sky and landed in the ocean.
Right. Beautiful capsule.
You know,
Maybe.
that was. I mean, it was all documented. Maybe the rocket just flew up and that little capsule popped out the same day and came floating back down to Earth.
Nah, and you know, my folks were alive during that time, and they could attest to you. Everybody who was alive during that moon landing, they'll attest to you that it was real. You know, anybody afterwards that were born afterwards, and the conspiracy theory started coming out against it, you know, they said, "Nah, that never happened." But again, it's a cool thing to talk about. Why? Because we can. You know. But now that I'm a Republican and conservative, and I'm saying the moon landing happened, I'm now a conspiracy theorist, and I'm sure the liberal media will come out and say, "No, it never happened." Okay, let's open up that bag of worms, MSNBC.
Yeah. Tell us what really happened, then we'll stop theorizing about it.
That's right. We'll stop theorizing about it.
You know,
there's so many cool ones out there, though.
We'd go right from there to Area 51.
Oh, yeah. Area 51. I think that's the best, probably my favorite conspiracy theory out there. Just because I saw the newspapers, I actually physically saw the newspapers. All your libraries will have that copy of the newspaper. You can actually check it out yourself. Back in the day when you had to put it underneath that big old lamp and you had to move it around and zoom in. I actually saw the initial day after posts on that from, I think it was 26 different articles that I had looked, and every single one of them confirmed that it was UFO. Then literally next day, it's a weather balloon.
Weather balloon. Yeah.
May the government conspiracies start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no, I take it back. I think the first conspiracy cover-up was the Battle of Los Angeles. And I believe that was in 1944. And the Battle of Los Angeles had thousands of troops on Los Angeles shore shooting at something in the sky. They thought that we were being invaded by the Japanese. And they unloaded tens of thousands of artillery rounds at what they had spotlights on it and everything, and they just kept unloading. And it was loud. I mean, people came out and said, man, citizens that were there were like, holy crap, what's going on? It was like boom, 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 constantly for 5 hours, and nobody brought anything down. And it's literally called the Battle of Los Angeles. And one of the top generals in that area had to make a report to the president at the time and said, there was something there. We saw it. We can't confirm if it was Japanese. Whoops. Go ahead, Zach.
I have a conspiracy theory. Is Tom Brady really a racist and a supremacist just because he voted for President Trump and won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, Zach. Unfortunately, Tom Brady is a racist because he won the Super Bowl as a white guy during Black History Month.
And he tried to throw the Lombardi Trophy into the river.
I mean, you folks, you might ask why Zach just brought that up. And there is no kidding. Of course, now that we're Republicans and conservatives saying it out loud, there has actually been speculation on Twitter that Tom Brady is a racist because he's a white guy and won the Super Bowl during Black History Month. New conspiracy. It's the new conspiracy of 2021. Tom Brady. Scott's Tom Brady is a robot.
Maybe he's a reptilian.
Oh, he could be a. There we go. He's a reptilian. No, he'd be a Palladian. It's just so bizarre and out there, you know. But I don't have an answer for you, Zach. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, that is pretty out there.
It is. It is. Kind of goes with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Scott's still
alive.
Oh yeah. Just like Elvis, he ain't dead. He just went home.
Small, and you know, you think about it, small plane crash in the ocean.
Right.
Who knows?
I kind of wonder how many of these celebrity deaths actually happen. You know, another conspiracy theory that rolls around out there. You have a lot of them that are young. I'm pretty sure some of them died. But what if they just came up and said, you know, I'm done with this being in the light, and I'm going to give this certain company a couple $1 million. They're going to say I'm dead, and I'm going to go to this island and never be seen again.
Well, I think even my mom thinks Jim Morrison effed off to Honduras or something. Like there's a theory that came out after, and she kind of clung on to that one.
Right.
He just, yeah.
Right.
Screw it. I'm bailing. Go to
Yep.
South America. At the time, there was really nothing there, right?
Right. That's right. Well, kind of on that lines, I mean, there's quite a few people out there speculating that Adolf Hitler really commit suicide. And a lot of people speculated he went to Argentina. And that's a huge one. I've read so many and actual eyewitness reports from hotel folks that like housekeepers, chefs, and stuff like that said, yeah, we served Adolf Hitler in Argentina. There we go again, though. That's one of those. That's a you should never talk about conspiracy theory, but I'm going to talk about it because it's out there and it's out there a lot.
The History Channel had the show Hunting Hitler.
That's right.
Like
that's right.
The biggest wool supplier to the Nazis was a company in Argentina.
That's right.
Many people in the town witnessed the scuttling of a U-boat just off the shore.
That's right.
There is the infrastructure in place because of that wool company, trucks, right? Storage locations, houses. The guy who owned the company owned like 4 banks in Argentina, owned a whole block, basically in the city. And I believe there's even one, like she's like 90 years old, but she's like, yeah, that was Adolf Hitler.
It was Adolf Hitler. That's right. And it goes, there was a doctor from Spain that before the German antiquities or whoever owns the skull of Adolf Hitler actually had done a DNA test on the skull, and it came back as inconclusive as it being Adolf Hitler's skull. And ever since that DNA analysis test on it, you're not allowed to touch that skull anymore. There's no tests that are allowed to be done on that skull.
I thought they said they were both women, both skulls.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's why they said they had to come back with that thing. They could not come back. It's kind of like a lie detector test. They can't come back and say you lied or told the truth. It's either conclusive or inconclusive. Okay? And that's how DNA tests go. So if you get, I believe if you get a DNA test and it says we're 99.999% sure you're the father of so baby, they don't come out and say you're the father. They have to say 99, 98, 97%. That's conclusive, but it's not 100%. And so they couldn't come out and say, you know, I believe that was in I want to say 1998, if I'm not mistaken. But it was so weird because they said, okay, after this, we're not allowing anybody to do any tests on this skull anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just found it weird.
What's Scott got going on here?
What?
4 VKM YouTube has WWE working to save America against the elites. LOL.
Man, if we're relying on the WWE to save America, we're effed.
But yeah, as far as like I said, as far as Hitler going down there, they found records of. It was the day after. It was April 21st. This is the last day he was seen alive. Was his birthday, April 20th, which is funny because all the hippies go out and smoke dope on April 20th. So, like, are they celebrating Hitler's birthday, or is that a conspiracy? That might be a conspiracy too. Potheads might be Nazis.
Well, right? Hey, maybe it was. Maybe.
Why is it? I know it's supposed to be like a police call sign for marijuana.
420. Hey, maybe the potheads are the ones that made the Nazi moon base.
Yeah.
That's another conspiracy. The Nazi moon base on the dark side of the moon. And that's why Pink Floyd made that album called The Dark Side of the Moon, because they have proof of a Nazi moon base there.
Yeah, Roger Waters, all that acid. I saw it.
Also revolving around 420. And 420 is Adolf Hitler's birthday.
What's up, Zach?
Oh, and guess what? Was Kobe Bryant's death a conspiracy theory because there was a cartoon way before he died? The cartoon said he'd die in a helicopter crash.
Was that The Simpsons?
Oh, okay. It wasn't Matt Groening. The time traveler. The time traveler. That guy's.
It wouldn't have surprised me if it was him that did that, though.
No. That is kind of weird, though. I'd never heard about that cartoon.
Yeah. I haven't heard about it either, Zach. That's the first for me. I'll have to look into it. That's right up my alley right there.
Well, man, you think about it. Even though it was foggy, foggy weather, I don't know what it's like there, but all the sensors, like the telemetry, like those guys flying around those hills, they have to know exactly where they all are.
Right.
It's just common sense. If you're a pilot, you know where all the structures and stuff you can run into are.
Right. I mean, but not every pilot out there is. I guess you have to be licensed in severe and inclement weather to fly a plane or a helicopter. And so I'll pick on John Denver. The same thing kind of happened to him. He was flying in a snowstorm and hit the side of a mountain. Even though he was a pilot, was he equipped to take on that type of weather? And so that whole Kobe Bryant thing, I think it's a sad situation, to be honest with you. I wasn't a big fan of Kobe Bryant, but hey, thoughts out to his family. And J-Biz coming in. Hey, guys, what's up, Scott? How are y'all? Thank you for joining on, J-Biz. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it. And okay, so Zach, you saw, or J-Biz saw that cartoon as well, which is cool. I have to check it out now.
Yeah. That's fine. Just send us the link, Zach.
Yep, Zach will send us the link. And Scott coming in, how about some news outlets saying dying from COVID vaccine is being a hero? Or just dying. Wow. Huh. That, man.
So, well,
that's.
I have a family member that works in healthcare, that's already had part one, or well, the last time I talked to her, she had part one of the vaccine for a couple of days. She had to go in and get part two. I don't know which one that is exactly, but she said she feels fine. She feels fine. Hasn't heard anything,
about it.
And I would.
Right. And I'm sure, I mean, when it comes to the vaccine, I'm sure it's okay. The old boss who used to run the company before I bought it from him, he just actually came in here today to talk to me for about 15, 20 minutes. He's an older gentleman, great guy. John W. is what I call him, or boss is what I still call him. And he said him and his wife, they already got the first round of vaccine. They made him hang out, in the parking lot for 15 minutes to make sure nothing was to happen. He says that he didn't feel anything. He said the flu shot hurt him more than, the actual CV shot. But I guess that's because they double up doses on, elderly for the flu. I mean, I don't know. I'm not elderly, but that's what he told me. I have mixed feelings on the vaccine. I think if you want to get it, go get it. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to make fun of you. You're going to have the anti-vaxxers out there that says, I'll never get it. I don't want it. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I don't want it. I really don't want the vaccine. I've never taken a flu shot. I load up on vitamin C crystals when I start feeling sick. With CV, personally, if I haven't already had it, I'll go find somebody that has it and I'll just get it. I'll get over it, get the antibodies, and go on with life. I'm not a vaccine type person, but I don't discourage people from getting it. But from both the left to the right, I've heard quite a few conspiracy theories about the COVID vaccine not being exactly what it should be. Matter of fact, one lady, I believe, in the Netherlands came out and said that's the zombie shot. So once you die, even if it's not from COVID, you're coming back as a zombie 5 years later. They call it the Z shot there. Oh, I love it. I was laughing. Okay, there's the Z shot. I laugh now, but if it comes to fruition, then I think I'm zombie ready.
Well, the thing, nobody knows what happens long term. How many theories are there about flu shots?
Thank you.
Bring that up. And I got a couple of flu shots when I was a kid, and then my dad was like, no, he's not getting the flu shot. My aunt's kids almost got kicked out of school because she refused to get them flu shots.
Dang. Wow. That's harsh.
Yeah. It's upset.
I don't want the shot. I'll take airborne gummies when I'm feeling sick.
There you go. The airborne gummies.
There you go. Yeah.
And airborne's a good one because it's loading you up with vitamin C. Quite honestly, personally, my opinion, when I start feeling sick, I overdose on vitamin C. It's not going to kill you. The science is behind there. And there's actually a vitamin C crystal. It tastes so sour. You think sour gummy bears are harsh? Man, you overdose on that vitamin C crystals, and every sip you're taking rah. And what that does is just it builds your body's immunity to a point of where you're putting that immunity inside your body, the white cells on steroids. And look, it works. Okay, it works. I'm not going to say don't. That's why I'm not a medical doctor, though. I'm not going to say do that, but it works for me.
Yeah, you do what works for everybody. Knows their own body the best.
Amen to that. That's right.
I think another thing that I remember hearing, it was going to be. Remember last summer, some doctor came out and said it was going to be easy to make a vaccine because the virus is so stable. We're not going to see any variants of it.
Right.
Now all of a sudden we have 2 or 3 variants of it.
Two or three mutant stands. But even then, I mean, the main body of that virus is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And JBIS coming in survival rate if you have COVID is 99.7%, and the Vax has a 94% or something on it. So I'll take the 99%. Right, I'm right there with you.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. I am right. I'm right there with you, JBiz.
I mean, we're required to wear masks when I'm at work because I deal with the public.
Right.
But I mean, and it's more so our business doesn't get fined, right?
Right. That's right.
Because like even by not having a sign on the door, we can get fined.
Right. Well, even with my business, Terry, being pest control, my insurance company dictated to me that I have to wear a mask anytime I enter into anybody's premise.
Yeah.
They went one step further though. They said they're going to have spies out on the ground to make sure I put my mask on. And if they see me walk into a client's house without a mask, they're going to drop me from their insurance.
Seems like a waste of money.
Irritating. So my insurance company told me that they're going to have employees stalk me. I thought there were laws against that.
Well, what does the money you're paying insurance go to so people can run around behind you?
I guess. As much as we spend on insurance, I'm sure they're figuring out something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, I could go off on a tangent about this CV being a whole freaking conspiracy theory as well, though.
Well, I think Scott brought it up a pot or two ago. Like
I could go off on it.
Well, like I said, like even like flu shots. Man, remember at work, everybody got the flu shot one year. I came back, that was like on a Thursday or Friday. Come back Monday, everybody's freaking sick, sniffling and sneezing. I'm sitting there going like, what? You guys all got the flu shot. How come you're all sick?
Right? Just give it to me already.
Well, I told him, I'm like, no, you're not injecting me with a dead flu bug. How is it dead and it does anything?
And eggs.
I never
don't know.
figured it. I'm not a doctor either, but
I know when I worked at the hospital, it was mandatory I got the flu shot. Matter of fact, if I didn't get the flu shot, they wouldn't let me go to work.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But again, it kind of revolves around the whole thing that we're talking about for conspiracy. Is this just force control? Is this, because this is not that bad of a virus. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I was just talking to my boss about, the Spanish flu that came in 1970 to 1919. They didn't have any vaccination against the Spanish flu. It was 100% herd immunity. Yeah, people died, but people died from the flu. People died from cancer. People die from asthma, Alzheimer's. Okay, it's called. God, when was the very last time anybody has seen the Spanish flu in their country? Can you please tell me?
Zach?
I do think the CV is a conspiracy because that's how they got Biden in office.
Oh yeah, use CV and the scare tactics of the American people. And then you bring up Biden. Is the election a conspiracy?
Is
Strike
Joe
one
Biden,
against me.
Is Joe Biden really Joe Biden?
Okay, so Terry brings this up for a reason, and I'm not going to tell you guys what that reason is. Just go look up on Google or YouTube. Is Joe Biden really Joe Biden? I'm not going to bring it up here because that will probably get us next.
Yeah.
You can go do your own research on that one.
Yeah.
But it's still just a conspiracy theory. I don't know. What else you got, Terry? You were throwing quite a few of them out there.
I don't know if it's really a conspiracy theory. Well, maybe. Like, D.B. Cooper.
You'll have to explain to folks who D.B. Cooper is, though.
So, yeah, it was, late 70s, early 80s. Hijacked a plane, and I can't remember where he hijacked it, but they ended up in Washington. He sports are rigged.
NFL particularly.
That comes back into Tom Brady.
I've been, and
They
Scott,
rigged it.
I'm going to tell you right now, even though we have another pod that we do, it's a Bronco pod, and I have constantly brought up the NFLI, and that's the National Football League. What? Illuminati. The NFLI, the National Football League Illuminati. And I think Tom Brady bucks the NFLI and wins Super Bowls when he shouldn't be. But
Yeah.
there's another conspiracy for you.
Yeah. But yeah, like you know, people don't even know who DB Cooper is, really.
Right. Very famous back in the day. Matter of fact, I think Pawn Stars even had one of his blown up dollar bills in his shop.
Supposedly.
That's right. Supposedly. Maybe, probably.
Maybe, probably. Maybe.
Is it Terry or isn't it?
Maybe he went to live with the Sasquatches in Northern Oregon, Southern Washington.
Sasquatches are not a conspiracy theory. They're real. Just like the Loch Ness Monster, give me that much fact, okay? I've been hunting them for ages. Although all the pictures I have are blurry, okay? I'm sorry, I was so scared my camera was shaking. So I could never get a good picture, but they're there, I promise.
They are, yeah. Tracks prove it.
That's right. And Jay Biz coming and got a better question. What is not a conspiracy?
Right.
Jay Biz, that's what I kind of said at the very first of this program here, was talking about, especially Republicans and conservatives alike, or people that they could think for themselves and have common sense. We could go outside and say that, like now, the sky is gray, light snow, and it's 7 degrees. And have fact after fact after fact, but because of how we believe, we're going to be labeled a conspiracy theorist. So what is a conspiracy? What's not a conspiracy? Those are questions to ask. I don't know. I can tell you what is not a conspiracy. The person that might be him passed away. Maybe. Are you talking Biden there, Scott?
Yeah.
Like I said, if you are, I'm not going to bring it up here. And it was actually Zach that turned me on to it, and half of it made me chuckle. The other half made me say,
Ooh. Another good one, and this was on, the former governor of Minnesota TV show. I don't know.
Jesse Ventura.
I was the governor of Minnesota.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. DB Cooper. Okay, thank you, Scott, for clarifying there.
There's like that big antenna up in Alaska, apparently, that's ran by the U.S. Armed Forces.
What is it?
HARP. HARP, that's it. Yes. Yeah, well, there's even a theory that caused the Japanese tsunami.
Right. HARP is since you brought it up, I mean, even before Jesse Ventura brought it up, was one of the most spoke about things on the internet for a long time. And HARP, if anybody doesn't know, I don't remember the actual name for it. It's HAARP. It's basically saying the government can dictate weather patterns by using this certain machine. Jay Biz, get back to work, and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you having here. And we're actually going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. But you have a good night. Always appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
Joining in the conversation. That's what we love about you. And Scott, she's well, looking forward to seeing you on the pod. All right.
Yeah.
Scott's got
looking forward to seeing all of you guys on the pod.
That's right. That's right. We'll get you on. Just come on. And it's not a big deal. It's fun, actually.
Yeah. Oh, Zach's got some.
Yeah, he's typing away there. I could see the smoke coming from his ears.
Kind of funny too that you brought up the Loch Ness monster, because we have our own lake monster in Canada. It's called
Yes, you do. Matter of fact, it just made the news the other day.
What, Ogopogo?
Yep, it sure did. It made its way to Bloomberg News. It pulled up on one of my news feeds on Facebook.
Oh wow!
On how somebody has like a new picture of it, and they're going to be releasing it soon. So I'm kind of interested to see how that one goes. Go ahead, Zach.
Please email me at the address in the banner and I can send you the details.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. And it's an open forum, you know, kind of like I said, we're going to make a discussion topic point. We went off a little bit today off the discussion topic point, but yeah,
we always do
fit in. We do.
We kind of always do. So
it's Zach's fault. He gets us off on tangents.
Yeah.
We could have left that Tom Brady one to another whole pod, Zach. Thanks a lot. All right, bros. Well, I love you guys. All the family out there, the Patriot family. I don't care where you're from, what country you're from. Welcome to the Patriot Brothers Pod. Like, share, subscribe. Join us in conversation. Comment too, by the way. If you guys are on YouTube, if you go into the comment section after we're done here and just go post a comment. I don't care if it's good or bad. You could say, you know, Duke is the ugliest man on earth. I don't care if it's a comment. and it goes with the algorithms for YouTube. So go in there and post how ugly I am. I'm good with that. Just go comment, guys. I mean, that's a big thing. Is I love to see the comments in there. We want to be able to get our message and word heard. And one of the biggest things why we like this pod is Zach is also able to get his word heard out to the community that are disabled as well. Yes. And it gives other disabled folks, you know, if Zach could do it, we could do it. And he's a very good inspiration, not only to disabled folks, but to folks all around the globe so far. He's got a lot of fans. And so the more he gets his face out there, the more that other folks that have his type of condition or similar conditions, they see that lights a fire under people's asses. And Zach, hands applaud to you, my buddy. You're doing such a damn good job. And just keep it rolling, Mr. Producer.
Yeah, producer and host.
That's right, Mr. Producer, Mr. Host. We'll call you Mr. PH.
There you go.
Rather than that, unless you guys have anything else to say.
I'm good, brother.
I'm good too.
All right.
Love you, bros. Love you, Patriot fam.
Absolutely.